Disaster struck our RV adventure right from the start. We had a breakdown, faced theft, battled high winds, and more. Our first month was a roller coaster. We were questioning everything, even quitting. So stay tuned to see what happens next in our adventure.
We kicked off our maiden voyage in beautiful St. George, Utah, and what should have been 2 weeks turned into a lot longer. Why? Well, life had other plans.
We have a bunch of family that lives there, and I thought it would be really cool that we'd be able to visit with them and spend time with them. Another thing is Dave's parents just purchased a house in St. George. And so it was perfect timing. We were able to go down and help them unload. And I was able to use my organizing skills to help them get unpacked and find new homes for their items and help to get them settled in. So that was really cool.
After we stayed 1 week at an RV resort with full hookups, pickleball, swimming pool, all that, I wanted to test out the solar panels to see how long we could go on just battery life. So we decided to head on up to Zion's National Park, which was only about a 45-minute drive from where we were at. It allowed us to test these things out. On the way there, we were climbing some really steep hills, and all of a sudden, bam, right out of nowhere, our truck just slammed, and it just bam, like we hit something. Everybody jolted. I'm pretty sure I said a few choice words. My wife screamed. Taylor and Pip jumped up like what was going on, and I immediately jumped out to see what we had hit. I mean, it felt like we had hit something. So I got out. There were no cars around. Circled the entire trailer, looked at the truck, couldn't find anything that was wrong with it. And I'm like, well, maybe the emergency brake got pulled. Could happen. So I checked that. No, the emergency brake didn't get pulled. And so I really didn't know what was wrong with the trailer at that point. And so we just continued on our path another 30 minutes and we were there. And we unhooked, everything was fine. And then the very next day, Patience and I went out on a date and we were climbing a similar hill and bam! And at this point, I knew it was the truck because it wasn't under heavy load. It wasn't the trailer. It was the truck. Now, GMCs are known for their transmission, but it felt like a transmission. So I called the dealer and they're like, yep, it's your transmission. We've seen a few of these with your year. I took it into the dealer the very next day and they inspected it, looked at it, and they came out and said, I got some good news and I got some bad news for you. The good news is it's not gonna cost you anything. The bad news is the part that you need, it's on back order. And I have no idea how long it's gonna be. So I explained to them our situation, that we're full timing and we're boondocking, and they even offered to bring our trailer and move our trailer anywhere we wanted at their cost. But I said, don't worry about it. We'll be fine here. We have family in the area. They gave us a rental car, and it was 2 or 3 days later that they called me up and said, hey, I got great news for you. GM approved a new transmission purchase for you. So you can't get the part on back order, but we put a brand new transmission in for you. So luckily, that tragedy ended with success. And we're so thankful to GM and Newbie dealership out of St. George for just stepping up. They went above and beyond what I thought was necessary to make sure that we were comfortable, taken care of, and got us back on the road as quickly as possible. However, we had to extend our stay at least another week while we were waiting for the parts and the repairs to come in.
We boondocked near Zion's National Park. We really loved the freedom that it gave us and the serenity of it. I think that is when I fell in love with boondocking. The nice thing about it, though, was because of our truck situation, we had to stay there for just a little over 2 weeks there. And luckily, because we have the 2 bathrooms, we did not need to use a dump station. Another thing that was really great was that we had our Amazon packages sent to his parents' house, and we were going over there several days a week to help them with their move. And so that was one thing that was really nice to have at the start of our journey, family close by, to be able to get those packages and those things that we needed to get those to have those readily available.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you are thinking about doing this or you're just getting started on your journey, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that your first stop is somewhere that's close to a friend's or family address, right? Because it seems like every time we turned around, there was something to add to the Amazon list and something else. And you would be surprised when you get on the road and you're away from a friend's or family address. You'd be surprised what Amazon doesn't actually deliver to a locker. And anything big that you may need, you're not going to get it at a locker. Any hazardous materials, you're not going to get at a locker, right? And hazardous materials,
sometimes fresh food.
You'd be surprised what Amazon calls hazardous material, like dog food, right?
Dog vitamins.
Yep, dog vitamins, all that kind of stuff. We realize we can't get that delivered to an Amazon locker. So it really does help a ton to start out there, because you're not going to be able to remember every little thing all the time, and just get them sent to a friend's or family address. From St. George, we moved to Lees Ferry near Page, Arizona. Now, this place was beautiful. It was stunning, but the weather had other plans. I mean, we were literally trapped inside of our trailer for 3 full days due to severe high winds. And it is just windy as all get out. We're experiencing first time in an RV with high winds.
65.
Probably 65, gusts of 65, 70 mile an hour winds. And we had to bring in our slide outs. As you can see, that's what it looked that's what our rig looks like when our slide outs are brought in. And we've been like this, and so our space has now been reduced to just bathroom and dog on the bed. We have no idea how much this high profile can take, but kind of doing some research, and we kind of face the rig correctly. As you can see, the wind is blowing from our rear facing, so I feel good about that. But sometimes gusts will come from all different angles, and so we've been rocking this place has been rocking. We've seen a lot of campers. In fact, there's a camper clear out there. Not sure if you can see that, but there was a bus that's out clear out there on the ridge. Oh, there's one. There's somebody clear out there. You can barely see him. Not like to be them, that's for sure. So we are pretty close to the road here. It's supposed to get, according to Google, it's supposed to get better here in a couple hours. So we're just kind of seeing, obviously you don't want to hitch up and leave in this wind. You don't want to be driving in it. So we're kind of just hunkering down for the storm and seeing what happens.
Good thing we had a TV in there, though, for sure. Our fridge and pantry, the first evening when we had to close in the slides, we didn't even think about being able to that we wouldn't be able to get our food out of our pantry. So I think the only thing we ate for dinner that evening was like applesauce, string cheese, and some drinks.
I mean, let me just tell you, if you are Googling how strong wind needs to be, or what the mile per hour and wind needs to be to tip a trailer, that's a little bit nerve-wracking and scary for us. It was pretty scary as the trailer was shaking all night long. We were hoping that in the morning we would, that we would still be upright. And this was our first experience, mind you. And
we had 60 plus.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Wind, so.
We had no idea. So we're sitting there Googling, making sure the trailer's facing into the wind, closing in the slides. We filled our tanks up with water. We kind of made it as heavy as possible, and we were really, really nervous still. But then this happened. We're getting high winds again. We got another high wind warning from the National Weather Advisory, and we need to bring in our slide outs, our pop outs, and we got to go do a couple things outside before we got to be stuck in our room again. So we go from a 500-600 square foot living space to probably about 100-foot living space. That can get really boring really quick, but
at least we're better prepared this time. We went through it once, we learned. So I've gathered, good thing, like I brought an electric, what'd you call it, electric cooker. And then just got out several things for the day. Just put some potatoes in the microwave to cook them really quick. So we can do a fast dinner. Dave is gonna go out and get some waters.
So like you said, better prepared. The electric is because we can't access our stove, we can't access our microwave when the slide outs are in. It's not easy to access those things. So we're like, well, let's pull this out, because last time I had an apple for dinner because that's the only thing that I could access in the is the refrigerator. So we're like, let's not do that again. So we're gonna pull out some games. We're gonna be able to be a little bit better prepared as we're hunkering down for hopefully what the weather says is for, you know, about 7 hours, and the winds should subside. So all right, well, I gotta go outside. This is the fun part. When you open up the doors in such a high wind area, you got to do it with 2 hands and buckle down, because it's...
Oh, where's your hat?
Oh, yeah. It's gonna get crazy out here.
Okay, buddy. You better hurry and go, buddy. Go potty, sweetheart. Go on. Go on, go potty. All right. We'll see you when I see you.
Like I said, the wind is blowing. You can see what direction the wind is blowing. It's really bad out here. So the wind is blowing, it's blowing right headwind into my face. So what's good about this into the face, I'm gonna practice with the windscreen, is that we got our trailer. Now the back end, it would be better if we had the nose end, and because the nose is a little bit more aerodynamic, but at least it's the shallow part of the trailer. So you're hitting it with the shallow end versus the brunt end of the truck and the trailer. So kind of situated like that, and you can see there's nothing, no trees, no structures, nothing that's keeping the wind from not pelting us. So we're, yeah, and that trailer is a rocking, and it gets going pretty good. So we're about ready to bring our slide outs in. Did you go poo poo? 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 This says, I went to the bathroom, Dad. How? Did you do it? Did you go? Good job. This is to tell you how good of a job he did. He's potty trained. He's done that ever since he was a puppy. It's been awesome. We just know. You know, he did when he comes and he does that, his little I want poo poo dance. We got so excited when we were potty training him every time he went poo poo outside, that he now still does it to this day, 5 years later. Just gets really excited after he goes poo poo. So I better go see where he went and clean that up.
Filming my lovely pedicure this morning.
Yep. Got to make sure you take care of the toes. Just kind of doing a once over, make sure everything is good. These things I get worried about the most on the slide outs is just I don't want them, you know, fraying or getting wind torn. So we kind of bring them in, and it reduces the noise a ton. We found confidence in that it wasn't going to be to the high winds that Google had said, you know, it could tip. It was really, really nerve-wracking. And just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, we headed to a Bluewater lake in New Mexico. And on our way, we stopped for gas at a small town in an Indian reservation.
Well, Dave was filling up gas. I immediately got a bad feeling and got the feeling that we needed to hurry and get out of there quick. And also that the bikes were going to be stolen. So I was trying to relay this message to Dave. We had a guy staring at us the whole time. He was we later found out, like, the distraction. And so I didn't want him to hear me say the things that we were scared, nervous, we need to get out of there type thing. Didn't know what would happen. So I was trying to get his attention, but he was busy being on his phone, trying to get a couple emails done for work. So I sat there panicking inside. And we didn't realize fully what happened until we had left the gas station and got to our next destination at Walmart.
A little bit of bad news. Patience was walking into Walmart right here, and she was walking by and noticed that my bike got stolen. So I had a bike here that was my bike that I drove. In a matter of we stopped for gas in Arizona on the way here at Sinclair, and by the time I got gas and filled up, and I never left the truck. I didn't hear anything or see anything. They just snatched my bike, broke it. So they tried to break the top of this to get it off. This was all open up and gotten into, but there's nothing in there. Like, they could have had whatever is in here, they could have had, but they didn't take anything. But that sucks. So not even, month on the road, my first theft. Stole my bike. My bike's gone. Patience is like, I had a bad feeling. She's like, hurry up, hurry up. She's like, hurry up, let's go, let's go. I have a bad feeling about this. And I didn't listen to her, so she's not happy about that. And I guess I couldn't have gone any faster. I was pumping gas. So I don't know what to say. It's kind of like, when you get punched in the gut a little bit, you don't know what to say, but it sucks. Kind of puts a bummer in the trip a little bit, because now we don't have two bikes, we only have one. So kind of going through Arizona on the way to New Mexico, that happened just like that. Didn't even see it. Kind of crazy. All right. And the amount of time that it took me to fill up my gas, it's gone. It's gone. You go through all those emotions. You go through like remorse, grief, anger, frustration. I'm still in the angry stage right now, so.
Angry you didn't listen to me? Because that's what I was most hurt about. Okay, too soon.
No, I'm glad it happened earlier on in our trip, because it just forces you to be more diligent, and that's never a bad thing. So my wife I can learn a lot from Patience for sure. I tend to be more optimistic. She tends to be more realist, and so we kind of balance each other out that way a little bit. But yeah, for sure, eye-opening experience. Take away anything. If there's a mistake to be made and you don't learn from it, then that is a mistake. Then that's truly the mistake, if you don't learn from making the mistakes.
Hopefully now
I'll listen to you more. Is that where we're going? Is that the whole point?
I don't think there's high hopes for that. You're listening to me more. Well, you're laughing now, but I still feel sick to my stomach about what happened and everything. I know we're kind of in higher crime areas, and so yeah, just we're taking more precautions and to be safer with things out there. So from that experience, both me and Dave decided to come up with a safe word, that if one of us says that secret code word, that we will stop and listen to each other and pay attention to what the other person is saying.
From our truck breaking down to panicking in the high winds to getting our e-bike stolen, I would like to say that was the end of at the end of our
Right? 'Cause
exciting
that
venture.
was like threes. We were like, okay, bad things happen in threes, but nope, not
Yeah.
this time.
This is where you go, but wait, there's more.
So arriving at Bluewater, New Mexico, we were in Gallup at Walmart was our next destination from the gas station. And I went in and shopped for the food, got quite a bit of food because we didn't know when the next time we'd be to the store was going to be. So bring it out. Dave helps me load in the groceries, get it all put away in the fridge, lock everything up, and we're on our way to our campsite. Like, we just wanted to get to our campsite. We wanted this day to like literally be over, but that was not quite the case. We got to our campsite. It was kind of a rough getting in there. Got the trailer leveled, went inside, and this is what I found. Just groceries spilling out of the refrigerator all over the ground. They had been out for over an hour, so cold things were getting warm. And I mean, it was just a day. I'm like, what else? Like, what else can happen? I was just totally devastated at that point.
Not just the food that was a mess. We were both a mess, literally and emotionally. I mean, we were pretty much spent at this point, right? I mean, I think I said, let's just go to bed.
That's what we wanted to do.
And so what did we learn? I mean, what did we learn from all these experiences?
Well, I mean, I just looked at it as, okay, you know what? This is just like challenges in life. Everybody goes through them. And you can be just down and out and be frustrated and mad and have hard feelings about things that happened. Or you can look at the things that you have to be grateful for. Like, none of us were harmed that day, physically. And we still had each other. When you have these hard experiences, it's how you react to them that matters, what you do with those situations. And if you can learn from your mistakes or experiences, it can only make you stronger.
You know, it's easy to say that now, but looking back when we're in the middle of it, I was kind of panicking how my wife was going to view this. I mean, before then, we had conversations of, is this the right path? Are we on the right journey? Are we supposed to be doing this? And then these bad things happen. And they happen to us, and we have watched thousands, but hundreds of hours of YouTube videos where people have said, yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. Nothing bad has ever happened to us. There's been times where we had bad feelings and we've gotten out of there. And, of course, people have had breakdowns, things like that, but never in such a short amount of span that things have happened. And so in my brain, I'm sitting here thinking, what is she going to say? Are we turning around, making a trip back home? Are we done? A month in, we're calling it quits. And I wouldn't blame her. I honestly wouldn't blame her if that's what she said. And like, all these things have said no, but to Patience's credit, she showed resilience in spite of adversity. And like she's saying, I mean, the true test of your character is how you respond. You can't control what things happen to you. You can only control how you respond to it, right? And the next day, I mean, literally the next morning, I was still worried because I knew we had to talk about it. And she came to me and she said, I'm at peace and I'm at calm and I know we're on the right path. And that was a huge weight off of my shoulders, a huge, great, what did we learn from all of this? How can we be better? And in my mind, I have a mental checklist now. I lock the door twice, make sure the doors are all locked at night, make sure everything is locked up and tight and secure. If that's something that's come for me to be more resilient and more careful in things that I do, and that to me is a positive, right? And I choose to learn from that versus dwell on what happened, right? Make it a lesson instead of a sorrow. So needless to say, our first month had been quite a bit of a roller coaster.
Very busy too.
But we have learned some invaluable lessons along the way. We're beyond that now. We've had a lot more lessons that we've learned that we'll share with you guys in upcoming videos. But, you know, there's no wood around here, but I'm going to knock on this table that hopefully we don't experience anything like we've experienced in the past. And we're looking forward to the learning experiences, and we knew that we were going to have them. I mean, it's kind of like our motto, movement in motion motto, our shift, grow, go. You know, how appropriate that we went through our first month of a roller coaster. And we made the shift to go, you know, we made the shift to sell everything, jump into an RV and travel the country. Because of these experiences, we've had to shift our mindset a little bit from poor us to how do we learn from this? We've grown together, definitely as a couple and me individually, into how we react to situations now.
It's about a continuous growth.
Yeah, and we're continuing to go on this journey, to go forward, to see where it takes us, to see what other lessons that we can learn, hopefully, you know, not from bad experience, but from great experiences. And we've had a lot of those great experiences, and we'll share with you guys here in our upcoming videos.
For sure. So if you guys have liked what you've been seeing, it would really support us if you would hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to hear about all of your RV or traveling adventures in the comments. We kind of would like to build a community and just be able to help each other in the process. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and if you happen to see us at a campground, come say hi. I mean, we would really love to start making some friends along this journey and be a part of your journey too. So until next time, we'll keep rocking and rolling, keep moving in motion, and we'll see you in the next video.